set to go. I'll just start calling, all right? Yeah. Good evening and welcome as we have our Gators taking on our Whittlesea Pacers for the Div 2 Men's Grand Final. Wherever you're watching, appreciate you tuning in as there's not 2 points early on. Good defense by Paddy Green. Tyson Burton straight into the action. Well, we've had a hot start, and before I can introduce myself and the man next to me, I'm Isaac Haber calling the action. Anderson hits the 3 and we're off. And now I will introduce the man to my right, former player and current coach for the Altona Gators, Div 1 women's side. Good evening, Randy Shanklin.
Thanks, Isaac. Thanks for having me tonight. Looks like we're getting off to a good start, which is good. They normally start slow, so this is a good start for the Gators.
Oh, yes, it is. Straight into the action. Caught me off guard for a second, but we're in for a heated contest as Paddy Green's got the ball in hand. He's been one of the main facilitators for the Pacers this season, and a foul called by the official. Such an incredible turnout here at the Altona Sports Centre. Definitely probably 500 plus in the house. Pretty much a sellout, and really appreciate the Whittlesea Pacers making the trip down to Altona and supporting their team. What a turnout, Randy.
Yeah, no, it makes it all worth it when you get to the final game like this and have the crowd supporting you all the way to the end. It's a great opportunity for both teams.
100%. We've just got a couple of free throws, and both of those knocked down by Blake Cuthbert. So we've got a 3-2 start, and we're just about 20 seconds in to this game, and we've already had an end-to-end contest already. So it's definitely shaping up a thriller right here at what we know as the Swamp. Paddy Green looking to dart to the left-hand side. Cuthbert. Great run over the head, too strong. That shot just not falling for the captain in Jason Dirks. Well, we look at both sides, and they've both got a lot of experience and leadership, Randy. Definitely a main part of the game as Samson Rocker hits that 2-point fadeaway.
Yeah, Jason Dirks has been good for a long, long time. I remember playing against him myself here at Altona, so he's a great leader and a great player.
Paddy Green, also a great player. Not only can he knock down those 3 balls, but he can do that right on cue by number 33, Paddy Green. What I like about Paddy this season, he can fall back onto the three-point arc and knock down the threes, but then they can also do a rotation where he turns into a playmaker rather than a shooter and an offensive threat. So he's definitely got a lot of capability, and that's what we're going to see on display tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, now Paddy's a class act. He played for us here at Altona as well, so I think he was All-Star 5 when he was here.
Paddy Green picking up that assist, and the 2 points going to Gabe Evans, another offensive threat that the Pacers have under their belt. Gabe Evans got 18 points last time these two sides met, and the last time these two sides met was actually in week 1 of finals. The Gators winning that 94-91 as the ball goes out of bounds, and it's a Pacers ball. Previous to that, the Gators won again in an absolute thriller in Whittlesea back in round 13, Randy. Gators just winning 97-96. The only time the Pacers beat the Gators was in round 3, and that was here at the Altona Sports Centre. They dominated that game, but the Gators did have a lot of outs. So, look, we're seeing both teams fully fit, fully firing as we've seen early on, and I'm just so excited for the rest of the game to play out, and may the best team win. Tyson Burden darts to the right. Patel tried to get there. Well, he's been great on the glass, Nick Patel, an assist player, but scoring-wise, he's on and off, so hopefully he drops into that playmaking role tonight. Nearly a turnover by the Gators. Patel brings it down. Georgiadis. Three-pointer on its way, no good. And a foul there by Tom Georgiadis. The thing with Tom Georgiadis is he can get ahead of himself at times. As a previous player and as a coach now, Randy, how do you calm down certain players who let the pressure get to them?
Yeah, no, it's a really tough active balance when you go into what I guess most people or players would call big games. It's not trying not to get too high or trying not to come in too low. So just finding that happy medium, being able to play balanced and not be too excitable when you get into the game. You're seeing that just a couple of the shots that Whittlesea took early in the game, they're probably just nervous, missing bunnies that they would normally make throughout the course of the game. So, yeah, it's definitely a balancing act, and it's different for each player. Unfortunately for a coach, it's different for each player.
Yeah, and I guess you just got to say calm, composed and collective, especially early on. You don't want to get into foul trouble, and especially in trouble with the officials, because, you can, I guess, shape up your fate as the game goes on. The Gators' top scorer last time these two sides met, which was obviously in week 1 of the finals, as mentioned earlier, was Samson Rocker, who scored 32 points. Look, I guess for the Gators as a team, what we've seen throughout their season is a variety of scorers and a variety of players chipping in. They can go to the three-point arc, and a player like Adam Anderson, who has just been firing on all cylinders. Speak of Adam Anderson, and he averages points per game, 24.88. So just an extraordinary effort throughout this season. And another thing with Adam is that he can also drive that lane and give those dish offs. We've seen a few dunks. His athleticism is fantastic. And when Adam Anderson, three-pointer knocked down by Jason Dirkso, the captain, trying to lead his team. Just quickly back to the Gators. When Adam Anderson goes a bit off, you could say in form, or a bit cold, or teams figure him out, Samson Rocker drops into that three-point role. Or Tyson Burden works on the physical game, and that's actually what I wanted to ask you, Randy. Obviously the three-pointers are crucial in driving the lane, but how significant is that physical presence of the game that a player like Tyson Burden provides?
Yeah, he's crucial because he actually gives you some perimeter play as well. He can knock down the 15-foot shot, and he actually shoots the three-point ball pretty well as well. He's strong under the basket, he's kind of undersized as a big guy, but he's very strong. Even since his junior days here at Altona, he's just stronger than most of the guys that he plays against. So, yeah, it's definitely important to have an inside presence, but it's even more of an advantage to have the guy that's versatile, can play inside and outside.
Patel's at the line for the second free throw, and he misses both of them, so the Gators down 5-11 early on. Turnover by the Pacers. Anderson got Rocker to his left, went to Georgiadis. Thought about the three, got closer. Rocker didn't fall for him, unlucky. And good defense there by number 13 in Blake Cuthbert. Off the right hand and off the glass. And it's the Pacers scoring early on. Really working inside that paint, and that's been a main part of their game early. Could we see them try and turn things to a perimeter game, Randy?
Yeah, and I think, well, as long as they're getting scores inside, I don't know if they'll settle for those. Adam just knocks down the big shot from three. Yeah, I think the problem with them scoring inside so much is it does actually open up the perimeter once we start to adjust and make those adjustments to stop them from scoring at the ring.
Halfway through this first quarter, Gators down 8-13. Cuthbert, Paddy Green, fade away off the right hand. He's good and one, number 33, with a few buckets early. And he can be that main provider as we've seen throughout this season.
Yeah, he's just a classy player. That's a tough shot.
Paddy Green averaging 16 points per game. Not far off him is his teammate in Gabe Evans with 17. Samson Rocker also with 16 points per game as an average for season 2023. Rocker with the inbound to Anderson. Gators just got to get a bit more gelled, I guess, defensively early on. Still within reach, and it's only the early stages. Anderson fade away three. He can't fall in love with that, Randy. We've seen that throughout the season. Sometimes they rely on that three ball, work inside the paint, get that physical game going, get a player like Tyson Burden working his magic as Paddy Green hits another basket.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do in a game like this, especially as the game's starting to get away from you, is start jacking up threes thinking you got to get those to get back in the game. Still only the first quarter. You can play this out.
Short on the shot, number 14, Gabe Evans, and he'll be at the line for 2 free throws as the captain, Jordan Lino, comes into the game for Altona. Jordan Lino, he's been through thick and thin with this senior men's side. His leadership as the captain, he had a motto this for the finals. His message was, be the reason. And just tell us, Randy, being a player, that leadership, not only on the court, but his leadership off the court is sensational. Being connected not only with the players, the coaches, but also the fans. It's just an extraordinary thing to have as an athlete.
Yeah, no, he's been great for us. He's been great for the club. He's actually coached junior teams for us. So his leadership is awesome. And on the court, it gives you a sense of calm, knowing that he's out on the floor. He won't give you a lot of points. He may not show up in the box scores, but he gives you a lot of presence of calmness when he's out on the floor.
Rocker went up the right hand, forward inside the paint. Patel was fighting for the rebound. Nick Patel averaging 5 assists a game, so being that playmaker as we mentioned earlier. And Paddy Mills is everywhere. This season he's averaged 4 assists a game. We've got a substitution, number 13, Blake Cuthbert, taking a seat and into the game. Number 12 getting his first minutes for this one, Angus Fisher. Anderson straight up the inbound. 3 was off the mark. Again, they can't fall in love with that. It'll get away from them. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. A quick, intense contest early on. Paddy Mills goes to the right-hand side, and he'll be at the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, the problem is the Gators are going to have to adjust. They're trying to defend the three-point line, but everything that Whittlesea is doing is going towards the basket. So hopefully at the quarter time they'll be able to make that adjustment. But I love the way that Whittlesea is attacking. That's exactly what you should do in a game like this. The long shots don't necessarily fall in situations like this. You force the effort and you make the referees make a decision on those.
Short on the free throw is Paddy Green. Gators got to steer the ship back their way. They're down by 12. Anderson trying to be the main provider and one. And maybe that can spark the Altona Gators.
Well, that usually is what gets it done. If you can get to the basket and get yourself to the line, maybe that'll help him settle in from the three-point line as well. But when you're attacking the basket like that, I don't see a reason to really settle for those shots unless the defense rotates and it's a read for an open shot on the three.
Randy, what do you think the best part of the Pacers game is going to really shine throughout this game? Obviously, we've seen early on they can attack the paint. Would you see a change throughout the last 3 quarters?
Well, I think it'll totally depend on how Altona defend that. I think they always really attack the paint. They're pretty good at scoring inside the paint. Where they struggle is on the other end trying to defend the paint. So I think they'll continue to attack the paint. And that's where the Gators can make their advantage as well. And I think they have a bit of a size advantage against them. But if they're going to settle, for the three-point shot, I think Whittlesea will always have that advantage because they're just in attack mode and making the referees make decisions.
And as we look at the bench right now, Kane Silver, Pete Leckie, Jeremiah D'Souza, Jake Kersey, Harrison Williams on the bench for the Gators. Do you see those players? Just quickly, I'll get back to that. Quick break for the Gators. Rocker just rolled in off the finger roll. That was a nice transition play off a Pacers turnover.
Yeah, they finally read that flare with on the horns play.
And the response by the Pacers immediately. Just looking at the bench, do you see those players getting minutes, or do you think that's a risk with those players, I guess, not having much finals experience?
I don't know if the finals experience matters so much as Adam gets that basket there. You really want to shorten your bench as much as you can and play the guys that have been contributing most of the season if you can. It's not really about sharing minutes at a stage like this. You've got to play the guys that have been getting it done for you all year, unfortunately. And sometimes you get a surprise guy that'll sneak off the bench and contribute. Normally in games like this, the stars don't normally have the chance to step up because that's the first thing that most coaches want to take away. So if you can get a couple of guys off the bench or a guy that's, not really a heavy scorer, or even two or three of those guys even, to get double figures just between the 3 of them, it helps the team out as well.
100% as we take a look at our scores. 15-22, the Gators are down. Early on, Paddy Green providing for the Pacers. If you've just tuned in, Isaac Haber, Randy Shanklin keeping you company for this chilly Saturday night in Altona for our Div 2 Men Grand Final between the Altona Gators and the Whittlesea Pacers. Well, it was first versus second, Randy. The Gators getting the job done in week 1 of finals and securing the home final. What an achievement. And you've got to say, Josh Turton for the Altona Gators. First year as coach, as head coach. Obviously was the assistant coach last season. And he has definitely done his job and done us proud, that's for sure.
No, he has. And the continuity, I think, was the biggest deal that, him being an assistant last year. He still had a lot to do with the coaching side of it, which is good. He was very active in that, not just sitting there as an assistant. So the continuity is what helps most of the same guys. And they've done a great job this whole season.
As we head back to action, we've got 2:50 left in this first quarter. The Gators down 15-22. And also the Pacers coach in Des Radoslovic. What an effort by this Pacers team, being undefeated for most of the season, and then obviously the only team to beat them was the Gators. It's just been incredible. They had a great winning streak. Their effort was there as Rocker gets that block. Still with Jason Dirks. And the Gators will bring it up.
Yeah, and credit to Des. When he was here with us, I think, his teams had one of the slowest paces, and now they're one of the top teams as far as pace goes. They're playing at a decent pace. His teams with us when he was a junior coach were very fast and active and things like that. So it's good to see him trying to mold his game into the senior program and watch his team do so well.
Couple substitutions here for the Pacers. Paddy Green and Jason Dirks taking a seat. Into the game, number 10, Max Stojanovic, and also number 5, Ash Breyer, as there was a turnover there by Tom Georgiadis. And just getting a bit, he's got a bit to say to the officials, but he's just got to keep his cool in such intense matches like a grand final.
Yeah, this is the one time you don't want to lose control. And I know he likes to play on the edge, which is good. That's part of his game as well. But in a game like this, when your team really needs you, I don't know if you want to play on the edge as much as or close to the edge as he's playing right now.
Patel tries to drive down the left-hand side and gets it. Nick Patel cuts down the lead to 5.
And if Nick can get into the lane like that all game, I think you'll see the Gators start to make a bit of a comeback if they don't settle for that outside shot.
Yeah, just back to Georgiadis quickly. He gets under players' skins. Tough shot there, knocked down by Gabe Evans for the Pacers, and he's got a handful of points early on. Yeah, Georgiades, he gets under players' skins, and like you said, it's part of his game, and, you know, I guess it motivates his ego, you could say, and get him going offensively. And when he knocks down those threes, sometimes he's unstoppable, that's for sure. But he's just got to be very, very careful. Nick Patel will bring it up for Altona.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a sign that the moment might be a little bit too big as well. Unfortunately, when your emotions get a bit ahead of you, yeah, you just got to stay calm. It's a long way to go in this game. We haven't even gotten out in the first quarter yet.
Just under a minute to go. And a great move there by Max Stojanovic. Gets it off the right hand, gets the 2 points to go. And it's the Pacers back out to a 9-point lead. Anderson with the handles. So composed with the ball in hand. Step back three. Can't fall in love with it. Rocker. Spinning, turning, twisting. Yes, got it.
So even a play like that, you know, it's a bit stagnant for their offense. But again, with the size advantage on the inside, if the bigs for Altona can stay active, I think they'll have their way with them on the inside.
All the way to the basket. Angus Fisher contributing for the Pacers.
That's an awesome play by him. He's just relentless getting to the basket.
Lino thought about the shot, ran into trouble, swung it out to Patel. Running out of time, Nick Patel. Anderson put back just in time. We've got a buzzer beater right here at the Altona Sports Centre. 21-28 your scores at the end of the first quarter. What did you make of that first quarter, Randy?
I thought Whittlesea did a great job of attacking and putting a lot of pressure on the defense and really putting the game in the referee's hands and making them make calls or not make calls, but it's really making the Gators have to defend, which is, you know, something you want to come into a game switched on about. But, you know, when somebody's attacking you like that, it's very difficult, especially when the referees get involved. And then on the other side of that, I thought once the Gators started to get inside, I think it gave them the advantage. I think with the size advantage and their ability to get to the basket as well, instead of settling for the three-point shot, it gets them a chance, and it gets them a little bit closer. So there was a double-digit lead throughout that first quarter, and then he started to bring that lead back a bit when they start to score inside the paint. So if the game continues to shape up that way, and hopefully the referees won't get involved enough that it's free throw shots a lot, but if both teams start attacking the basket, I think you'll start to see them let a few things go, I think.
Yeah, and that's something that some Pacers player can play in their advantage. You know, driving that lane, getting the fouls. If you get key players from the Gators in foul trouble, you know, they're going to have a few adjustments to a few rotations, and then especially a player like Samson Rocker or Tyson Burden, then you might see a player like Harrison Williams come into the game, need to fill up that spot as a big and play that physical part. I just wanted to quickly mention Harrison Williams, one of the youngsters in this side, getting his opportunity with, you know, an older, experienced team. It's just a massive opportunity for him, and hopefully he can get some minutes throughout this game, as there's a adjustment to the lineup now for the Gators. Pete Leckie in as the big, Samson Rocker, Tyson Burden off, and also coming into the game, Nick Formosa. Nick Formosa, Randy, we've seen him knock down threes throughout his career with Altona Gators and just throughout his basketball journey. He can also drive that lane, so similar to a player like Nick Patel.
Yeah, they are very similar. He probably shoots it a little bit better than Nick does. What I'd like to see him do is his defense, just like on a play like that. Speak of the devil, a guy gets his hand in on the ball. So when he's active on defense, that's his biggest asset to us.
Ash Breyer, incredible effort, got it back for the Pacers. Quick darting pass, tough shot, still with the Pacers, and one, no, just slipped on the left-hand side. So it'll be 2 free throws for the Pacers. First free throw short. Second free throw on its way. Nick Formosa will bring it up for Altona. Formosa trying to go all the way, got a hand on it, and it'll be Pacers ball at the baseline. We see Tyson Burden 2 fouls early on in the first quarter, so as he comes back into the game, Anderson Rocker straight back into the game. I know you want to play your stars, Randy, but you just don't want to fatigue them as well. You don't want to have tired legs out there.
Yeah, this is the gamble that you take as a coach, but you also have to think as a player, you know, I can sleep tomorrow. I don't need to worry about being tired tonight. We've got a game to win. I want to go out there and give my best effort for as long as I can.
Formosa slipped through his hands, regathered it. Ash Bryant, again, incredible intensity. And we'll have a bit of a discussion by the officials.
Yeah, this will be an interesting call. Oh, wow.
And it's a Gator ball, so I actually personally thought that should have been Pacers ball there.
Yeah, I think they called a jump ball there.
Yes, my apologies on the arrow. Well, obviously we don't have that in our divisions because, you know, obviously the NBA would just have an actual jump ball between two bigs on the court or between the two players who wrapped up. Gee, that would have been an interesting jump ball between Ash Breyer and Nick Formosa.
Yeah, two of the smaller guys on the court. It'd be an interesting jump ball.
Yes. Samson Rocker to inbound for Altona. Just an incredible turnout. The Whittlesea Pacers fans to our right and the Gators to our left. Both vocal, both in their colours and supporting their team. Absolutely love to see, especially the youth supporting the older players. Anderson out to Rocker, who gets a great look from downtown. Rebound for the Pacers. Ash Breyer past the halfway mark. We're 2 minutes into the second quarter. Ash Breyer with the handles. Shot clock down to 9. Ash Breyer pulls up the 3, short. Anderson rebound. Patel's to his left, that's where he goes. Bit of momentum building up for the Gators here, Randy.
Yeah, there is. I thought it looks like they're starting to settle in on the defensive assignments a bit better.
Rocker, another 3 on its way. Burton, rebound. Travel. Took one too many steps. And something I've noticed just quickly is that Anderson's becoming more of a playmaker than a shooter in the second quarter, and Samson Rocker's dropping back on that three-point arc and getting some good looks. So there's a change by Josh Turton in his playing style offensively, and see how the Pacers can close that down if they can in this second quarter and throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's a great pickup, Isaac. I don't know how much it is as a game plan as much as it is that Whittlesea is starting to shut him down and making him a playmaker so he doesn't get those shots off. So it may be a little bit of both that coaches told him that they're sinking on him, so he's got to give the ball up.
Formosa gets the lucky roll. His first points of the game. 23-29 your scores. Gators trailing by 6. Ash Breyer, fadeaway J is good.
That's just a classy shot. No pressure at all. Pivots, hits the fall away.
Formosa tried to dish it off to Anderson. Cut out by Max Stojanovic. Great defense. She tried to go for the alley-oop. Short on the shot by Dirk. He had a bit of a brain fade there, but he cleaned it up and made it look pretty.
He probably shocked himself shooting that shot. He's good that he was able to recover it and get the score.
And a foul called. It'll be Altona ball. Each team have got one foul in this second quarter, so not in foul trouble whatsoever. Patel out to Burden. Burden. Pacers will bring it up. Rock off the right hand, didn't get it. It'll be Pacers ball.
This is a great opportunity for Altona if they want to take advantage of the fact that Ash Breyer has gone to the bench with his second foul. So they might want to make pace, but with Patty Green back on the court, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But obviously, with both guys on, there's a good chance they're going to score when they get the ball.
Patty Green. Off the right hand, that's good. Gabe Evans. He has been a great offensive threat.
Yeah, and it looks like Altona's going back to what they were doing in the beginning of the first quarter, where they're settling for the three-point shot, and Whittlesea is staying true to getting to that ring and putting pressure on the basket. So when we talked about the change earlier, I think Whittlesea is committed to that, sticking to the plan of getting to the basket, putting some pressure on the defense. Altona is just settling for outside shots, and they're not dropping at the moment.
And it's just not working for Altona. They're down 23-35. We've got 6 minutes to go in this second quarter. We see, I guess, just looking at both teams, I guess what's been a main part of their game is that leadership from a handful, 2 or 3 players really working their magic. And to see that leadership from both sides, I guess it's crucial to the structure of how your rotation works. And not only that, but how the offense contributes to the defensive intensity.
Yeah, no, the leadership does play a major role, especially in games like this. We've got the crowd involved. Obviously, there's a lot that both teams are playing for. And sometimes there's a little bit more pressure on the home team, and it may have come true for Whittlesea when they lost that home game last time they played.
And a foul call there, so we'll have free throws for Altona. What's been a highlight for you, Randy, throughout this season for the men's side? I know you might have caught 1 or 2 games. If you could pick out something from their game style, what's been the main thing that's caught your eye?
I really like the way that they have different guys that can score for them on any given night. I think that makes it very difficult to defend, very difficult for other teams to scout. Similar to what you're seeing with Whittlesea, they have a lot of depth in their scoring, about 4 or 5 guys in double figures. So, yeah, I was really pleased to see how many different guys can actually score double digits for us.
Three-pointer hit, and the crowd absolutely love it. That gentleman nearly walking onto the court, he just realised. The game gets to you sometimes, but we love to see it. Burden on the three-point arc. We've got 5:30 to go in this first half. Patel fouled hard, tried to do a breaking run, and that was completely cut out by Max Dejanovic. I know you can be physical, but then there comes a time where you need to be careful, unsportsmanlike fouls, etc.
I guess if you're a Whittlesea fan and you're looking at that, you're wondering why there wasn't a flop called. So I guess it can go either way, whether it be a hard foul or a flop. I guess it depends on which color you're wearing tonight.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was a foul and a flop.
A mixture. Tough call. After all, we're not in the black and white silks, are we? And it'll be a Gator ball. So hopefully they can, the Gators have just got to really work together as a team, stay a bit composed here. You know, we've seen them fall in love with that 3-ball. And really work inside the paint, and that's going to come through a player like Rocker, right on cue, or a player like Tyson Burden as well, being that physical asset. Gabe Evans, who's calls for a travel there by the bench. Play on. Patty Green, the bank is open. The deposits are too.
Yeah, I would imagine the Gators would be happy for anybody to score at the basket, to just get a score at any point. But you can rely on the fact that Tyson and Sampson do have that size advantage on the inside. If they can, they've been missing a lot of those contested shots early, so I think they're looking for the same love Whittlesea might be getting on the other end, but it's not coming. So they've just got to finish strong.
Nick Patel taking the seat. Nick Formosa coming into the game. Anderson pulls up for two. What I've loved about Adam Anderson, Randy, is when he takes a shot, whether it be, as we've seen there, from the two-point range or from the three-point arc, he is like a little figurine. He does not move. He is so stiff in the air, and that just shows his great balance as a player. It's just something incredible to watch.
Yeah, no, he does have a really nice jump shot. I think that's a shot that I would tolerate right now. If we're talking about taking perimeter shots, I would tolerate a foul line jump shot. I think there's no real point in trying to put pressure on the defense if the fouls aren't getting called when you go to the basket. And it's better to play in space and take that wide open shot that you know you can hit.
Burden gets the first free throw. And the second as well. So the Gators, after being down by 12, have cut it down to single digits. Ash Breyer with the ball in hand, thought about the shot out to Paddy Green. 10 on the shot clock, Ash Breyer. Anderson. And a great play there, Randy. That end-to-end stuff, that transition from defense to offense, you love to see it.
Oh, we talk about it all the time as coaches. If you get a stop, the scores will come easy. The more stops you get, the easier the scores come. So now you see the Lakers. The Lakers. I'm watching the purple and gold. The Gators are getting a few baskets consecutively after getting consecutive stops. So just kind of how the game works.
Don't worry, Randy, I've made that mistake a few times. I love the Lakers as well. Formosa gets the 2 points. And the Gators are pumped. You can see the bench, they're absolutely loving it. They've cut a 12-point lead down to just 5, and they're on a charge here late in the first half. We've got 3:47 to go. That intensity is just incredible, and to see a team stay calm, just, cool, calm, collective, as we've said throughout this season. The transition, as we've mentioned already, defense to offense, the Gators making it interesting, and it'll be great to see how the Pacers respond here. Whether they go to Paddy Green, I feel like the Pacers need to pick up on their defensive end. In these last 2 minutes, they've just dropped off a little. But in saying that, they've still got a player like Ash Breyer who can be quick with the handles and open up a bit of space on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. So what we've started to see a little bit is, the same calls that were happening in the first quarter, some of that contact is now not being called. And I think now when you're trying to pressure the paint like you are, if they're not calling those fouls, as you start to run into the defenders, now it's almost a detriment to you. Now you have to go back and try and play in space when you haven't been doing that for most of the game. So that's the ebb and flow of the game. Sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. When they're not calling that foul, it really just ends up being a turnover if you're not getting that foul called for you.
And we're seeing a bit of a riot here between the youngsters. It is just the game. But again, that passion from the purple and gold and the Whittlesea Pacers. Right here at the Altona Sports Centre. Isaac Haber, Randy Shanklin keeping you company as we've had a heated contest in this first half. It's been intense. It's been end-to-end. If you've just joined us, the Pacers got out to a 12-point lead, and lately the Gators have cut that down to just 5. As we've got a great look here, and the 3 on its way. Too strong. Still with the Pacers. Samson Rocker. Great effort. That's 110%, and that's laser focus by number 12.
Oh, it's awesome intensity defensively, but yeah, to be able to sustain that for a game is where it needs to be.
And then he tried to step in the 3. Too strong. Tried to bank that one home. Threw up a bit of a prayer. And 1. Dave Evans trying to carry his team on his back a bit again. Averaging 17 points per game this season. been a real offensive provider.
Yeah, no, I really like his game. He's just solid. You know, all of their guys really understand their role. That's the reason why they're one of the top scoring teams in the competition.
Rocker to Burden. Georgiadis the three. Once Tom Georgiadis can get going with that three ball, we're going to see a different play from the Gators, and that's really going to free up a player like Burden or Rocker on the floor because they're going to really get it out to him. And I guess that's the thing, when you drive the lane, you draw those two players, you know, you draw an extra vision off guard, and that opens up the space, obviously.
Yeah, it does. It's a great tactic when the shot's going in, but unfortunately when they're not dropping, it's almost like you're settling, especially when you have a size advantage on the inside.
And you're also sacrificing a lot of space because you've got no one back defensively. Georgiadis, two-pointer, too strong. He's just got to get into a rhythm. Rocker, unlucky with the roll. Paddy Green will bring it up for the Pacers. 2:30 left in this first half. Blocked by Anderson. Got too excited there. And the Pacers hit the 2 points.
Yeah, the Gators are pretty unlucky there with a great block. That's a guard getting up to block that shot out of the air off the backboard like that.
35-45 your scores. Pacers get back out to a 10-point lead. Ashbroyer can't believe himself.
It looks like it's going to be his third foul as well. Yeah, that's a tough call.
And the substitutions coming for the Pacers. Number 13, Blake Cuthbert, and number 8 in Brendan Hughes taking a seat for Moser at the line. 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, the Gators are struggling to make the shots that matter. The ones right around the ring and the ones from the foul line. It's a hard way to dig your way back into a game when you're missing those.
Blocked by Harrison Williams. That's the opportunity he's getting, and he's making the most of it. His timing is brilliant, Randy, and that's something we've seen for a player at such a young age. He's only 21, and he's just brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm being honest, I thought he would struggle to get into the game like this because of the size disadvantage, and the quickness might be a bit too much for him, but he's so far shown himself capable of handling the speed and the tempo of the game.
And the 2 points counting there for the Pacers. And we'll just get the floor wiped up. And that's the thing with Harrison Williams there. Yes, the points went. Still good defense, and he timed himself so well that he didn't fall into the foul. He kept his arms up, he waited, and that's just a great player at such a young age as he takes a seat. And Samson Rocker back into the game.
As he gets more experience, especially with the speed of the game, he'll find himself in front of that drive rather than on the side of it. You know, while he didn't give up the foul, he still gave up the basket, but you know, that will come in time. That's just anticipating a play as it happens. And we get another foul inside on Samson Rocker. Paddy Green's picked up the foul. I think that's where their advantage is. I think you stay inside because Whittlesea tends to switch everything. They switch on every screen. You end up with mismatches all over the court. So if the Gators can find a way to pick the mismatch they want, they'll get a big on a small under the basket. So you had Samson right under the basket on Paddy Green.
And that's the thing, if you can get Paddy Green into foul trouble, well, you take out that playmaker and also that shooter. So then that gives Ashbroyer a lot of control, and he needs to be that main provider. As we see him with the ball in hand now, steps into the three, too strong on the shot. He's more of a playmaker, I feel, rather than a shooter. But when he puts him up, you know, he's got the confidence, and I guess you've got to back yourself as he did just then, and he loves it. He's a bit like Tom Georgiadis. He's got that ego. He likes to be fueled off his momentum. For Moser. Travel.
very difficult to be the only guy to handle the ball on a possession and get yourself in the middle of the lane. The defense is kind of sitting there waiting for you. So you dribble right into the teeth of the defense. It's always going to be tough to make a play, especially when you're a smaller guy.
We've got 50 seconds left in this second quarter. Paddy Green hits that three. Haven't seen Nick Patel really get on the glass, as much as he does, especially with those offensive rebounds we've seen throughout the season. And I think in this second half of the 2023 Big V season, a lot of teams have kind of narrowed down his game style and really blocked his play up. 3 players down on the floor. Bit messy. Pace the shot, rolls out Patel. Quick to Rocker. Off the right hand, and he got it and one. Samson Rocker. And an unsportsmanlike foul. Just a tiny bit of mayo maybe there by Tom Georgiadis.
Interesting play here. And you've got Paddy Green with the foul on the initial play, and I didn't see what happened when they came in late on that.
Paddy Green fouled Samson Rocker. Rocker accelerated Randy, and he was a bit, messy with his footwork, how he landed. But there was nothing in, obviously the contact by Paddy there. But Tom went up to him, had a bit to say, and Paddy shrugged him off. It was just a brush, but maybe it was a little more than that.
It'll be interesting to see what they call on this. I only saw Georgiadis hit the floor, and I don't know Paddy to be that kind of player, so hopefully he doesn't get penalized for that.
And he's a very calm and composed player, as you've seen.
Did indeed pick up the unsportsmanlike for that one, so that's his 3rd foul.
So Paddy Green taking a seat. We've got 6 seconds to go in this first half, so not going to be crucial for the rest of this quarter. Rocker, no good with the free throw.
Gators will get possession back here with 6.2 left. It's a massive foul and a massive penalty on the end of that. They lose possession of the ball. It means the Gators go in with the last shot if they don't turn the ball over.
So it's 42 to 52.
Yeah, they just had the wrong player shoot the free throw. I don't think Adams not allowed to shoot that. It's an unsportsmanlike foul, goes to the personal player.
And that should be Tom Georgiadis.
Yes, I think that's what Coach Radoslavic is arguing about at the moment.
So another opportunity for the Gators. Who knew 6 seconds could be this long? It feels like the NBA.
Yeah, without the replay.
And the coach's challenge.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see. I really didn't see the half ending this way, but it's a nice little run that the Gators have made. I'd hate to see Whittlesea lose their composure right now. They've been playing so great for the half.
And plus it gives both teams a bit of a breather. Obviously these last 2 minutes has been quite intense. They get that energy replenished and get fully fit and firing for the second half, which is not too far away. We've got 6.2 left on the clock. Gators trailed by 12 early on. Started the second quarter well, and then they started to fall in love with that 3 ball with Hoffman River. And Randy, as a former player, and a crowd this loud, especially at the free throw line, you've got crucial shots. How do you block out that noise and stay laser focused on one shot?
Yeah, I guess in any situation, but especially on the foul line, it's really just controlling your heartbeat and not getting too excited or worrying about the things that don't matter.
Long shot at the buzzer, off the mark, and that'll do us half-time. The Gators 42, the Pacers 52. Gators got a bit of work to do in the second half, try and steer the ship back on their terms. We'll be back in 10 minutes for a massive second half of your Div 2 men's final. welcome back, folks. It's your commentary for the Div 2 Men's Grand Final, called by Isaac Haber, and alongside me, Randy Shanklin. Randy, we've had a great first half, and it's set up for a massive second half.
Yeah, it was a really good first half. Thing that stuck out to me was the points in the paint for Whittlesea. They had 32 points in the paint of their 52 points. They were just relentless at getting to the lane and getting themselves to the free throw line, or actually finishing in the tough layups, where on the flip side of that, the Gators struggled to score against that defense.
And we look at the three-point shooting. Adam Anderson, 2 out of 6, shooting 33.3% so far in this game. Yes, it's great when he hits them, as we've mentioned multiple times. Just can't rely on that throughout all 4 quarters.
No, it's a difficult thing to do. I mean, and you really have to shoot them in abundance in order to, make that 33% work. If he's shooting a lot more of those, and obviously it'll kind of average out at the end, but how many of those misses turn into fast breaks for the other team before you make them?
And something you mentioned to me in halftime was Paddy Green in a bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him out here this early, gambling with that one foul when you still pretty much have a whole half to play.
And that's something maybe the Gators can feed off. Driving the lane, getting that mismatch. We saw it in the first half at times with Samson Rocker alongside him, and Anderson getting that 2 points, driving the lane down the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think he's a bit smarter than that. I don't think you'll see him guarding anyone that'll attack the basket or anything like that. I think they'll keep him pretty safe, and may even see him go into his own.
There's Paddy Green putting up a 3, rebound Nick Patel. Anderson needed to get it off, and he did. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Gators. Pulls up for 3. Anderson hits it from downtown. Rocket to inbound for the Gators. 47-52 the score. So the Gators again cutting down that 10-point lead to just 5.
Yeah, it can happen quickly, which is why you don't really want to settle for 3-point shots when you can just kind of chip away at the lead when you know you've got an entire half to play. So you don't have to get it all back at once. You can chip away at it. I'm sure any coach would be happy to be 10 points or under when you're heading into the 4th quarter.
Anderson, long 3. He's getting heated up. Well, I call him the battery throughout this season, and he's definitely charged, Randy, and once he gets going, the Gators can really feed off him.
I just think in the first couple of possessions, you're starting to see what I was discussing in the first half, because they had been, Whittlesea had been so relentless with the creep. There's another 3-pointer by Georgiadis, and a timeout by Whittlesea.
The Gators are cooking, and we've just seen a massive shift of momentum. The pace is up by 12, 10, 5, and now the Gators hit the front, 53-52. It took 2 minutes into this 3rd quarter, and Josh Turton, whatever he said at halftime, whatever these boys have had in their water, well, it's been working. And a bit of Space Jam in there, Randy, if you've watched that in the park.
Yeah, I have. I'm not shy to say I have. No, it's kind of what I was discussing in the first half, where you start to attack the basket a lot, and the referees aren't making those calls that they were making in the first quarter. Now all of a sudden those plays, when you miss those shots, they're turnovers, and it's difficult to get back on defense. And now you're starting to see Whittlesea have to take a few shots from the perimeter because the inside is being locked down. But because they hadn't taken that many shots from there, it's a totally different style of play all over again now. So to make that adjustment of whatever the Gators did at halftime, it's working for the moment in the first 2 minutes of this half.
And also great to see Tom Georgiadis knocking down that 3 there. Another player who can be a provider. And that's the thing about the Gators, and also the Pacers as well, the depth in both sides. The crowd is absolutely electric. Over 500 here at the Altona Sports Centre. And appreciate all of you watching, wherever you may be. Nick Patel getting a hand in there. I know former coach for the Gators, Rodney Clifford, watching at home with the family up in Perth. on the TV, so I appreciate you tuning in, Rodney, and a bit of my family out there as well, so I appreciate the fam tuning in to hear our call. Isaac Haber, Randy Shanklin calling the action for you, your Div 2 men grand final, as Jason Dirk's shot just falls out. Nick Patel.
Shout out to Rod. What's up, Rod and the family? Hope you're all well.
Tyson Burden. There's that physicality. Couldn't get the shot. Gabe Evans brings it down to the Pacers. Nearly double teamed. Breyer out to Dirks. High shot. And that's a swish from the skipper.
Well, you see that at the senior level so often, where you go down and you miss a bunny right under the basket and the other team hits a three. I think that'll be the fourth on Jason Dirks as well.
So a few players in foul trouble, and interesting by Des Radoslovic, the head coach for the Pacers, keeping Paddy in the game by taking the captain off.
Yeah, I think it's probably the wise thing to do. Jason has to guard quite a few more people near the basket and things like that, where there's a lot more contact. Paddy can kind of avoid that.
Samson Rocker used to being at the line for the Pacers. He's knocked down a few crucial free throws in their previous meetings. And an offensive foul, and Tom loves it. He took the charge like a champion. And he just turns to the crowd and feeds off them as well. An energetic player on and off the court, Tom Georgiadis. We're 3 minutes into this third quarter. The Gators are down by 1, and they have it in hand at the baseline.
The good thing about the shift in the energy right now going towards Altona is it's still early for Whittlesea. I don't think all is lost at the moment. So it'll set up for a good fourth quarter, I'm hoping.
Put back by Tyson Burden.
And they're just struggling around the basket to make that first shot, where Whittlesea has been really good about making shots under duress, and obviously making the open ones has been a big difference between the two, scoring inside the paint.
Green brought it down for the Pacers. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Shots off. Rocker nearly got a piece of it there. Good intensity, Anderson. Adam Anderson nearly double teamed, took a tough shot. What a read by Max Stojanovic. Georgiadis' three was short. He didn't need to take that there. He had a bit more time than he thought, and a few more options to his right-hand side. Paddy Green double team. Oh, good defense by the Gators, but a foul call.
Yeah, I thought both of those shots were probably too hotly contested to be taken at the time, with so much time on the shot clock. But you start to play in a flow and a rhythm, especially when things start to go for you. Sometimes your decision making goes out the window.
Ash Breyer. It'll be Gators ball. Good to see Jordan Lino back out there for Altona, and that might be just not only for the leadership to stay in this game, but we've also seen him, his vocal presence as well has been great.
The last play defensively is one of the plays I was talking about. It won't show up in the box score at all, but his pressure on the ball forced Brendan Hughes to drop that ball out of bounds.
We quickly look at a player like Gabe Evans for the Pacers. He had 15 points in that first half, and you have to say, Randy, in this third quarter, he's obviously been a little quiet, and that's just because I think the Pacers can't get the ball to him. Obviously that shot doesn't count there. Tyson Burden back in the game for Altona. Samson Rocker taking a seat. 5:27 left in this third quarter. Gators lead 58-55. That free throw just jumped out.
It's a tough call on Samson, but a little bit aggressive on that. He didn't really have to make contact on that. He'd already had him contained.
Anderson guarded by Evans. Burden. Shot clock down to 6. Georgiadis just stepped in. Right-hand floater. Put back. Bounced out. Unlucky. Still with Altona. Shot clock reset to 14. Georgiadis. Good effort offensively by the Gators. Great hustle. Burden trying to back his way in. Shot clock down to 5. Jordan Lino thought about the 3. Went all the way. The captain, he tried to get there, and he'll be at the line for a couple of free throws. Great leadership by Jordan Lino.
Yeah, it's an interesting play there. It looked like a late whistle, but usually I don't mind that as a coach. As long as you get the call right, whether it's a late whistle or not, doesn't matter.
He's a very unselfish player. We've seen throughout the season, you know, he has a couple great looks, but he'll give it off, he'll drive the lane, he'll open up another great look. And that comes down to experience, and that just comes down to a genuine bloke on and off the court.
Yeah, no, it was a great play. That way he shortened his dribble as he dribbled between the two defenders was great. He just wasn't able to get the finish.
Second free throw falls for Jordan Lino. How the tables have turned, Randy. It didn't look too good, you know, being down by 12 points in that first half. But the Gators leading 59-55. We've got 4:30 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, no, it's a long game, and it's hard to get players to understand that. You know, it's a tough put back by Adam. It's hard to, you know, settle in when you know you have so much time left, and everybody wants to get everything done right away because that's how the lead happened. That lead happened pretty quickly. So you want to try and get it back pretty quickly, but it's better to just chip away at it and let the game play out.
Completely agree. Breyer had him jumping, then got the three-point look, but it didn't fall. You have to say the pace is just a little cold offensively. A bit cold-footed, and it's been the Gators in their third quarter. Long three by Anderson. Too strong. Georgiadis to Patel. Out to Georgiadis. He thought about that three. He really wanted it. Found Anderson around the back. Great vision. Patel. They're running out of time, and a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Pacers there.
Very good defense by the Pacers, but at the same time, not a bad possession for the Gators. You know, at least they're not in transition after that turnover, so you get a chance to set their defense.
And there is Paddy Green taking a seat on the bench. So he's got 4 fouls, and be interesting to see how the Gators work with Paddy Green in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he's in foul trouble. He was one of the main players I wanted to see tonight. So I enjoy watching him play. I loved watching him play here when he was with Altona.
Oh, 100% agree. And what I was going to ask you earlier on, but now that we've seen most of the game, or a lot that we can, I guess, see how both teams are playing their style of basketball, who do you think will get the MVP for the grand final?
Oh, that's a tough call right now. I think there's quite a few players playing well. You know, Adam Anderson has started to heat up a little bit. I love what Ash Breyer is doing. I think those two right now would be in the front of my mind. But there's a lot of players doing a lot of little things that, you know, don't come up in the stat sheet as well. So we'll just have to wait to see that fourth quarter play out and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'd have to say Anderson's a definite contender, not only for this game, but just for the Gators season as well. What I love is the youngsters in one of their finals games and during the regular season that chant MVP for him, and I guess seeing him as a new player, he's just fitted in so well to this Gator puzzle.
Yeah, no, he's been a great fit for the team, but he's also been a great fit for the club. You know, the one thing you always find a little bit of pause in is when you get an import in, and how they'll fit in to the culture and all those things, and he's been great. He's been everything that we can ask for.
Anderson battling some injuries throughout the season. He had an ankle issue, and then he battled some calf tightness, so he was rested, but fully fit and ready to go for this game. And we've seen as the Pacers get one back, and it's cut down to a 3-point lead. So we've got 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
It's a massive gamble by Coach Radoslavic with Jason Dirks back on as well, but I don't blame him. Can't let this thing get away from you this early.
Anderson fade away. That's class. Very late whistle there.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. I understand why the call was made, but it's a pretty tough call. Ash did a good job of trying to draw the contact. I don't know if he actually made contact or not, but he did a really good job of selling that, which is what good players do.
Breyer shooting his second free throw. And it falls. So Gators lead by 4. Great run by Nick Formosa. Tough shot. I was just about to say good defense by Blake Cuthbert. Really unlucky there because he had the timing, he had the composure, and unlucky call there. And a late whistle again.
Yeah, no, and it's a good thing. If you're experienced and you understand when the referees make a late call, it's about making the right call. But at the same time, it can be a bit frustrating for the players because they think they've done the right thing and the late whistle comes in. So it gets a little bit frustrating. But at the end of the day, if it's the right call, it doesn't matter when the whistle comes.
And that's the thing, just going back to early in the game when Harrison Williams was on. And yes, they scored, but he slowly backed away and made sure the arms were, I guess, at a certain level backwards, so he didn't get pinged for the foul. Anderson got the rebound. Nick Formosa just before knocking down a couple of free throws, and the Gators leading by 6 now. We've got 2:20 left in the third. Anderson, downtown, cash money from the battery. And he's absolutely loving it. Earlier on, hitting a couple threes as well. Lino didn't jump to contest the shot. Great vision by Ash Breyer.
And that is a fantastic pass. It's a great read to read that all the way across the back behind him across the floor. It's a fantastic pass.
Anderson, Georgiades, three-pointer on its way. Yes, Tommy. Great shot there.
Whittlesea really need a basket right here to settle that. Well done. And who else would you call on other than Ash Breyer?
Again, as we mentioned earlier, Paddy Green in foul trouble now on the bench. Ash Breyer filling up that playmaking role and also being that offensive threat as that smaller man on the court. Anderson lost it, was in La La Land. He dropped his candies all over the floor. Breyer. Dirks hit the three. The Pacers fighting back late in the third quarter, and it's back to 4 points on the scoreboard. 71 Altona, Whittlesea 67.
Oh, fantastic pass. That's a great pass. Great vision by Nick Patel. Good finish by Jordan Lino. Yeah, Ash Breyer is just a special player, and you can see he's really trying to put his thumbprint on this game.
That one, not the best of his moments. Formosa, just good defense by the Gators there. Patel got 35 seconds left in the third quarter. We are set for a massive fourth to decide the champions of the Div 2 men.
Yeah, it's great to see Nick Formosa come in and do what he does. Like he's a disruptor on defense. Did a great job right there, causing the turnover. Now this is an interesting look for Whittlesea. You've got Dirks on 4. You've got Paddy Green on 4. It's a good chance to get Ash Breyer out of the game and get him a rest with that extra time. Got 35 seconds left, so he gets that time plus the timeout. Great move by Coach Radoslavic.
Free throw good by Nick Patel. And that's the thing, obviously they'll get a shot off here, the Pacers. And
or will they?
Commentators curse. Gators coughed it right back up, and the Pacers reset. Just about to say the Gators might have time to really make a play where they get Paddy Green involved physically or Dirks involved so they can draw that foul.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about this sport. As a coach, I don't know how many coaches actually really try to draw those fouls. It's really difficult to play the game that way. But yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea for sure.
5 on the shot clock. And a late whistle call there. Lino committed the foul.
A late whistle, but the right call. He just lodged the ball on the contact. It makes perfect sense.
He had about 2 goes at it, Jordan Lino, so it was either the first or the second. He still doesn't agree, but a player like that experience, he moves on and on to the next play. Free throw's no good. Patel, Anderson, 5 seconds. Anderson with the handles. He skipped 1, he skipped 2. Long 3 on its way. Buzzer beater. Adam Anderson, and look at the crowd get around him. They've got to be careful. They're just getting a bit rowdy. Adam Anderson. He knows how to hit him. Again, looked at the clock. 6 seconds, Randy. All it took. Calm, composed. And he nailed it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked that Whittlesea wasn't better prepared for that, especially coming out of that transition back on defense to no time and score in that situation. You definitely want to try and pick up the ball. 6 seconds is a long time. He get himself all the way to the basket, but you kind of knew he was going to settle for that 3, didn't you? And he started to walk into that 3-point shot. I don't think anybody in the building really thought he was going to hit that shot. So that's the interesting part about it. But, of course, he did hit it.
And of course, for the Pacers, my only question would be, why not draw a double team to him? Because Nick Patel's not going to settle straight away for a 3-pointer. And I think Tyson Burton was on the court as well, and it takes him a couple seconds, to adjust and get into that position. But Anderson, just great acceleration and to get to his hot zone.
Yeah, it's probably not something we really would discuss. A short clock like that, you'd almost think that it's just a throwaway, but sometimes it's because you're playing a little bit out of your depth in the game like this, where you're not really thinking about that, and you're hoping that it'll just be a long shot and you'll end the quarter and you go in with the lead the way it was. But that's a massive boost to hit that 3-point shot at the end of the quarter. So it's a matter of who will settle first when you get into this fourth quarter, or the championship quarter, as a lot of people like to call it.
78-67 the scores. The Gators, being down by 12 earlier on in this match, and they've completely turned the tables around. As we see again, Paddy Green, Jason Dirks in foul trouble. They're on 4 each, and they're starting this quarter, so a gutsy move by Coach Radoslovic.
Yeah, it is, but, he really doesn't have a choice, to be honest. Those are your guys that you've been going with all year. Those are guys that you trust, and you trust them that they won't pick up those fouls, hopefully in a silly manner. And I'm hoping those guys don't foul out, because I actually love watching them play. I was really excited about seeing them play, and it's unfortunate that they got in foul trouble, but, they still haven't disappointed. They're out there doing their thing. I love how they've been efficient all year, and you're seeing it tonight as well, so hopefully they can battle through and stay on the court for us, because they're definitely worth the price of admission.
So we're just getting the floor cleaned up as we're set for a massive fourth quarter.
Got a little housekeeping to do.
Just a little. Don't know if maybe when those boys got around Adam Anderson, he'll hit that 3.
Yeah, they got a little excited over there on the side.
I think they forgot to put the water bottles down when they ran onto the court. Up by 11 points, Altona. Huge fourth quarter awaits us. Obviously, folks, will have OT if it ends in a draw, but we don't like to hear those words. It is a late, chilly night in Altona.
Yeah, well, 11 points seems like a lot right now, especially with the last shot at the end of that quarter. But as you saw, the Gators were down by 10 points at halftime, and in 2 minutes they took the lead. So it doesn't take long, especially when you've got a team that's as efficient and as potent as Whittlesea are. They can come out and hit a couple of threes. They can get to the basket. They can get to the foul line. And, you score the points while the clock is stopped. Puts a lot of pressure on the other team as well. So this game is far from over, and I don't expect Whittlesea to lie down after being on top of the ladder for the whole year.
Interesting thing to see, Randy, for the Pacers. We haven't really seen the Pacers play a physical and big game. Their bigs haven't had much of an effect in this game in their playing style. We haven't seen a player like Jordan Harding get any minutes, or Dean Van Lannenberg as well. So an interesting move there by Coach Radislavic. But you have to say, in that first half, their rotations were definitely working.
Yeah, no, it's definitely working for them. I like the smaller lineup. It allows them to switch everything. I think that's what the thinking would be behind that. And I'm sure that Coach Radislavic knows his group very well. So, but being able to switch everything is the way they want to defend it. You need your smaller lineup in.
Thomas Georgiadis with the moves there, just couldn't connect with the 2 points. Fourth quarter is underway for Moser. Quick break. Anderson looking for the dunk. Formosa goes all the way. Should have passed it, maybe. But it'll be a Pacer ball.
Yeah, that's a play you definitely need to score on. You cause the turnover, you get a 2-on-1. It's a total decision-making situation. Unfortunately, they came up empty on that one.
And I know you don't want to go for this spectacle, but gee, that would have been incredible if they went with the alley-oop. Anderson had a bit of space in front of him. And a foul called, and Georgiadis has to keep his cool, and so does Josh Turden, being a bit vocal on the sidelines.
Yeah, I think he was a bit more vocal towards his player than the referee. Yeah, players really have to be careful right now of overreacting, and I think the referees have done an awesome job of keeping their composure and not calling unnecessary technical fouls to the reactions, and understanding how important this game is to both teams.
And also understanding the intensity that these teams are playing at.
No, correct. No, I think they've done an awesome job in this game.
Patel with the ball in hand. Anderson. Great skill. Opened up space for the 3. Adam Anderson, he's absolutely loving it out there, and he's got a bit to say to Max Stojanovic.
Yeah, that's just a heat check.
Lino went down, no foul called. Popped a foot to his chest or his head there by Stojanovic, but a foul called.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in Australia, but I do watch Aussie rules football, and I hear all the time that you need to keep your feet. And it's no different in basketball. The minute you fall over, you give the opponent a chance to score on you, and that's the situation that we just saw right there. I don't know whether it was a flop or if he actually did lose his balance, but that causes a 3-point play. You let a guy walk right through the basket. You've got to keep your feet in those situations, especially around the basket.
100%. You should get into footy, Randy. You're missing out.
Oh, I watch it.
Yeah, who do you go for?
I wouldn't call myself a student.
No, it's a great AFL season so far. Obviously, finals right around the corner, as we've got our finals right in front of us for the BigV season. And don't forget, folks, not only in the BigV, but basketball continues. The NBL 2023 and 2024 season right around the corner, starting later in September. Anderson, and I guess that's something that these players can look forward to, Randy, and not only at this level, but especially a few younger players as well, aiming for an NBL standard, NBL 1, and if they keep winning these championships, our Gators might get there one day.
Yeah, no, definitely, and we've still got our juniors in finals this week as well, or in the next following week, so yeah, it's a big time for junior and senior basketball. And there's a lot to play for in this game, obviously, with the opportunity to move up to Division I, staying in Division II at so long, it'd be great for either of these clubs to return to their days when they both played in Division I.
Formosa. Patel. He outstretched the arm there. Personally, if I was the official, that was close. It was close.
Yeah, it was a close call. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good defense, but it was a foul as well. I thought his body was in the right place, but as soon as you start to use your hands, it makes it a little bit difficult.
Obviously, we mentioned moving up to Div 1 if you win this game, and obviously your team in the senior women for the Altona Gators not winning the grand final last season, but still making it to Div 1, and what an effort it was by them this season, even though they missed out on finals. So congratulations to you and the team. It's been a great first season in Div 1.
Thank you for that. Yeah, we struggled a little bit early, but we found our feet towards the end, but it was just a bit too late. The teams are too good, and the coaches are too good.
Ash Breyer put back, trying to spark his team.
Comes back into the game and makes an instant impact. That's why you just love watching guys like him play. It's just unfortunate they can't play Patty and Ash at the same time right now with the foul trouble.
Anderson with the handles, the step back, foot was inside the line. That'll be a 2. Didn't fall for him. Rocker got a piece of it. Paces ball. Got 7 minutes to go in this game, 81-73 the scores. Dirk pulls up a 3 and hits it down.
We'd love to see a guy like that play well, right? And he's a classy guy. He's a good guy. The guy I played against as well. He's always been a good guy.
Patel going all the way to the rack.
Now we're getting into that crucial period. I know there's a lot of time left. But yeah, it's very crucial time. You might want to see Whittlesea start to get a few stops, a couple of scores in a row rather than trading baskets with the Gators at the moment.
And again, big move by Coach Radosławic. Paddy Green back into the game.
And I think that substitution really exemplifies what I'm talking about. When I said before he can't play them together, he knows now's the time he's got to go. He's got to make a run at it now.
Rocker.
So there you see an example of what I was talking about earlier, as they were attacking the basket earlier in the game. Now it's actually not benefiting them because they're shooting really contested shots and they're not making them anymore.
And that also relates to the Gators picking up on their defensive end. Rocker, offensive foul. Good call by the official. That's the thing, if you're going to play a physical game, Randy, you have to control that intensity at the right times and make sure that timing's there.
That's Sampson's 5th.
I think it might be. I just missed the stats bench there.
Yeah, I think it might be his 5th. Oh.
So we've got 6:16 to go. And if that's the case, which I think it is, he doesn't look too happy on the bench.
No, and he wouldn't be. It's a tough call, but you dip your shoulder like that, it's almost automatically going to be a charge, especially on a smaller guy. He may have sold it a little bit, which is fine, but I thought Sampson could have just powered that straight up without dipping his shoulder.
Tyson Burden, massive part to play late in this game. He'll be that physical guy in the paint for the Gators. Paddy Green on 4 fouls. Out to Janovic, who hits the 3.
Fantastic play.
Back to a 4-point ball game. Patel driving and thriving and hitting the 2 points.
So this is what I mentioned before. If you're going to keep trading baskets, it doesn't really help you. But, 3s for 2s, I guess it helps a little bit.
Dirks, great find. Way off the mark at that shot by Stojanovic. Patel to bring it up for the Gators. Nick Patel guarded by Ash Breyer. 2 quick players. against each other. Speaking of quick, Adam Anderson, brilliant handles, lost it. Paddy Green got back on defense. Stojanovic, and a foul called. Because the thing is, these crucial moments, Randy, Adam Anderson, I know he's a great shooter, but just got to look for a couple options.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I thought he tried to drive a one gap or split the double team. It's always going to be tough, especially when you expose the ball like that. That's got to be a quick rip through or rip over to get that ball up.
Second free throw is good. 5 minutes left in this game. 85-80 your scores. The Gators leading by 5. Patel to extend that lead to 7. Unlucky with the bounce. Paddy Green. Stojanovic around Burden. Goes all the way to the basket off the right hand. So Randy, in intense moments like this, I was just about to say, when do you call a timeout? When do you talk to your team? And that's exactly what Josh Burden does.
Yeah, it's a really good timeout, especially while you still have the lead. It makes a big difference. You don't want to wait until that's either a draw or them taking the lead before you take that timeout. So it's really good timing on that. And the players do look a little bit tired. That's a play that Nick Patel would probably finish 9 times out of 10. And then it looked like a tired turnover that Adam Anderson got on the play before. So it's not a bad timeout. And you can't save them until next year, so you might as well use them.
Vocal crowd once again finding their voice for this last 4 minutes and 48 seconds of this grand final. Just a reminder of your scores, 85-82. Who do you reckon, Randy, if we're tired, who do you go to for that game winner? And what play do you go with?
It's a toss-up, really. I mean, if you're talking about the way that the game was being officiated in the second quarter, you might not want to attack the basket because you might not get that call. First quarter, when they were calling that, you might want to attack the basket, but I wouldn't leave anything in the referee's hands at any point, you know. And that said, they've been doing a great job of controlling this game, so yeah, it's difficult. I'll probably have to go with plays that you've been more consistent with throughout the season.
Just looking at the current stats, Adam Anderson's got 41 points, Randy.
He's definitely starting to light up in the second half. It's a tough drive by Jordan Leno there. He's starting to assert himself on the offensive end.
And leading all scorers for the Pacers is actually their captain in Jason Dirk with 16 points. So it's great to see the captain's leadership, not only structure-wise and rotations and being vocal, but also providing on the offensive end when it matters most. And being in foul trouble, he's just had a great game.
Yeah, no, he's a classy guy. I can't say enough about Jason. I've known him for a long time. It's great to see him step up in this really pressure situation.
Crucial free throws made by Jordan Leno as the Gators go up 87-82. Dirks, Evans, Paddy Green. Dirks for 3. Just too strong and off the mark. Leno nearly lost his footing but kept it. 4:15 to go. Nervous moments for both sides.
Yeah, that was a really important possession, I thought, for Whittlesea. Just coming back off of the 2 free throws that Leno put in. And again, you're in that situation where you don't really want to match baskets, but if you can at least match baskets at this stage, you put yourself in a good position.
Anderson. Dished it off to Burden. Georgiades, Patel. Shot clock's down to 9. They've got 9 seconds to work with. Patel trying to go all the way. Went to Burden. Great speed. Unselfish play. Cutting in the lane was Tyson Burden. Again, filling in that spot for Samson Rocker.
that's a fantastic pass by Patel. He just has great vision and understands where to find his guys all the time.
Stojanovic, Breyer. Breyer gets another opportunity. 12 on the shot clock, Stojanovic. Gee, that one, if it went in, that would have been massive. 3:30 to go. 89-82 the scores. The Gators with a nice lead, but nothing's too safe. It's never safe. Georgiada, three-pointer. It might be safe then.
That is a massive three-point shot. That is really, really confident shot. Nobody under the basket. That's a tough shot.
Gators go up by 10. Dirks, guarded by Georgiadis. Paddy Green, out to Dirks. Dirk 3 on its way. Needs to go, doesn't. Lino, Patel.
So now you're seeing what I'm talking about, or what I was talking about in the first half, where they're starting to lock up the paint a bit, and now it's forcing Whittlesea to have to make shots, and it's a crucial time of the game, and these shots need to go, and they're just not dropping at the moment.
Anderson, long three, short on that shot. Didn't need to take it, but he did. 2:30 to go. Paddy Green, the Pacers got a bit of work to do. Green shot off the mark, Gator ball. And you can just see Ash Breyer saying, let's calm it down, boys, let's calm it down. But sometimes you got to go, Randy.
Yeah, you do. He's absolutely right, though. I don't know. That was probably an ill-advised shot. I think if Paddy Green had that to do all over again, he probably would do it differently. But, you know, if he hits that shot, it's one of the biggest shots of the game as well. So, and you trust that guy to take that shot. You know, I don't know if it was a bad shot for them, but it just didn't work out on that particular possession. You know, but we are getting down into that time where you almost can't trade baskets 2 for 2. The three-point basket is going to become bigger and bigger as the minutes start to tick away. And that's where the size difference comes in for the Gators, and they've been able to, at least they were losing the rebounding battle in the first half, so it looks like they're kind of steadied that ship and then be able to come in, probably lead the rebounding battle. There's been a lot more missed shots this half by the Pacers than there have been in the first half, so looks like if they can just steady that ship and keep locking down the middle and forcing the Pacers to have to shoot the ball from the perimeter, with the contest, of course, not just wide open shots, because Whittlesea has been able to knock down some wide open threes. But yeah, they may be able to hold on to this lead, but it's definitely not over. I love the efficiency that Whittlesea Pacers play with, and I'm sure they're not done yet.
Oh, 100%. I'm sure there'll be a late spark and charge from this team, as we've seen so many times throughout these two sides.
That's a bad foul.
Completely agree there. Ash Breyer, the smirk on his face, didn't agree with the call, but it was a foul, clear as day.
Oh, that's his fourth. So Ash is still in. Good. It's good he's still in.
So Paddy on 4, Breyer on 4, Dirks on 4. It's do or die for the Pacers at this moment, being down by 10 points, and Breyer's out of the game.
Yeah, I really would have expected him to use a little bit more caution, knowing that was his fourth foul. You can't really try and go for steals, and yes, maybe the official may have been out of position, I don't know, but it was just a risky play, and they really need him on the floor.
And I know that Nick Patel can really break free and accelerate down those lanes, but when he's half court, you know, you don't need to be that close to a player. Maybe just stay back and help that defensive end, and as a result, Patel's at the line for 2, and Ash Breyer's game is over, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the right thing to do to pressure the ball, but once you start reaching, you bring the referees into the game, and you don't really want to do that, especially as a defender.
Patel missed them both, and a foul by Tyson Burden.
Not a smart foul by Tyson either. Now they go back to the other end. You don't want teams scoring when the clock is stopped.
And that's Tyson Burden's game over. That's his 5th foul. He's had a great season. You know, just absolutely brilliant at times inside the paint. And also, to see a player of his size knocking down a couple of threes, it's definitely shown his talent.
Yeah, but here's the interesting part. Here's the interesting part. You know, you lost both of your big guys now. So now it almost becomes that Whittlesea is the bigger team. So now if they start to attack inside or they get offensive rebounds with their size, it can put a lot more pressure on the Gators now. So, you know, it's a difficult situation to be in, even with the lead.
92-84 the scores. The Gators up by 8. 2 minutes to go in this grand final. We're so close to a team lifting up that championship. Lino had him on skates. We've got to clean up on aisle 5. And he just couldn't get the shot to fall. Great move by Jordan Lino. We don't usually see that from him, but great to see that from the captain, Jason Dirk, on the other end. Speak of captain, speak of leader.
There you go. There's another big shot by the captain. And here's what I'm talking about, where you don't have that size advantage anymore. So you're playing even.
Jordan Lino there.
Really unnecessary foul as well.
Topping the contact, and that foul was by Blake Cuthbert, who, to be honest, he's been a bit quiet in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, he has, but, you know, when you have Ash Breyer, really, he lifted his intensity up a bit. He wanted to really put the game on his shoulders, which he did. Unfortunately, he's out of the game watching now, but, yeah, I thought he did an awesome job of keeping his team in it.
So 1:40 to go. The Gators up by 5. I know they're up by 5, and I know they were up by 10 just a minute ago, but it seems very, very close.
It's still very close. You know, there's way more time than you really look at it. If you look at the clock, there's a lot more time than you think. When you think about how fast these guys move up and down the floor, you get the ball up the floor in 4 seconds. There's a ton of possessions left in this game, especially if you're going to leave the captain open that wide open on a three-point shot like that. The three-pointer is going to bring him right back in the game. Having a lot of issues tonight with the wet floors.
Just shows how hard the players are working.
I agree with that. They are working very hard. And it's a situation that might make you sweat.
Whether you're on the court or in the crowd, I have to say, it's a very intense contest.
I see a few nervous Gator fans around here.
Lino makes the second free throw after missing the first. Gators up by 6. We've got 1:35 to go. Ball's in the hand of Paddy Green. Dirks pulls up for 3, and it's a massive shot by the captain. He is an absolute superstar for this Whittlesea Pacers team.
I told you they wouldn't go away, and they're not. That's a blown assignment on defense. You let the captain get wide open on the three-point line like that. There shouldn't be any wide open threes right now. You know they have to hit the 3 to catch you.
Anderson takes a 3 off the mark. He's given him a chance to tie it up or make it a one-point ball game. We've got 1 minute to go. Dirks been the main provider in this last quarter. Paddy Green driving the lane off the glass and in. It's a one-point ball game with 58 seconds to go.
And there's the difference. Again, that size advantage allowed Whittlesea to get that rebound on the other end and then walk right into the lane on the Paddy Green layup. So you got one team scoring on one end. Gators are struggling to score on their end. This is almost a mirror of the game they played at Whittlesea in the last time they played each other. The Whittlesea jumps out to a lead, and the Gators come back and just nip them at the end by a couple of points. And, you know, Whittlesea looks like they're trying to come back to do the same thing. So it'll be an important possession by the Gators right now.
What an ending we've got. 58 seconds to go. It's a one-point ball game. The Gators have the ball in hand. It's really going to be, you know, do you milk the clock? Personally, I say no. I say don't play safe, because you still want to be contesting. You still want to be contesting in the game.
No, that's a really good point, and it's not about playing for time right now. There's a few possessions left in the game, so probably about just over 2 possessions left in the game. So, yeah, however you can get this score, you don't necessarily want to play quick. So you definitely want to move the ball around until you can get the score that you want, but no real need to try and milk the clock. It usually ends up in a turnover when you do that.
Georgiadis to Patel. Clock down to 53 seconds. The twist and the turn in this game. They've been incredible. It's been a great contest. Patel out to Georgiades. There's that confidence. Georgiades, a massive three-pointer.
It is a massive three-pointer, but they better turn around and play defense now. Can't celebrate too long. Whittlesea's right back at you.
They have to switch on. They have to remain focused. They've got 30 seconds until a chance at glory. Paddy Green, Dirks, 5 on the shot clock. And a foul called. 22 seconds remaining. It has been just an incredible contest. It's so loud in here, Randy. Sometimes we can't even hear ourselves.
Yeah, not.
Credit to everyone coming out and supporting their team, whether it be the Gators or the Pacers. We really appreciate it, as we have throughout the whole season of 2023. BigV have done another incredible job for another season, and we'll definitely be back for season 2024.
I really want to commend the referee on that call right there. That's a gutsy call, and it's the right call. He was right on top of that one. It was a block.
Both free throws made. 96-94, 20 seconds to go. Formosa gets fouled. And was that on Green or was that on Stojanovic? Now Stojanovic pointing to himself. But they say it's Paddy Green. And that's Paddy's game over, which is really unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. We've lost a bit of time on the clock as well. They need to put about 3 seconds back on the clock.
So if they can get a stop, they'll need a quick shot because Formosa's at the line. It depends on if he makes them or not. You'd probably think Jason Dirks would take that three to win the game.
Dirks has been hot. I don't know if I would want anyone else taking that shot other than him with Patty and Ash out of the game at the moment.
They're just fixing up the game clock here. As the Pacers find a lot of voice trying to put Formosa off his game. He'll be at the line for 2. Just speaking of Jason Dirks, he's got 22 points, Randy, and his three-point shooting tonight, he's made 6 out of 10 attempts, so an efficient night from the captain.
They've been efficient all year. Max Stojanovic is another person we might want to look at for taking a three-point shot. Clutch free throw by Nick.
Or also a player in Stojanovic, if he can get a good look. He's hit 1 or 2 earlier on, but I think, you know, we've seen a lot more from Dirks. Formosa, unlucky with the bounce. 3-point ball game. 97-94. Stojanovic, 3 seconds. Stojanovic off the glass. No good, no good. Patel slaps it forward. We have our champions. We have our champions.
That is a fantastic defensive possession on the last possession. That might have been the best defense they played all game when they needed to.
Commiserations to the Pacers. An incredible effort. They finished on top of the ladder throughout this season. They've made it so far, and every time they play the Gators this season, it's an absolute thriller. What a way to win the season. The Gators, your Div 2 champions for season 2023. Congratulations to Altona. From Isaac Haber, Randy Shanklin, it's been a pleasure to call this game. Thank you, Randy, for all your help. Really appreciate it. What a call it was.
Thank you very much, Isaac. It's been a great season for both clubs, really. Commiserations to Whittlesea on that game, but they have nothing to hang their heads about. They had an awesome season. I thought they fought that thing out, you know, and Coach Radoslavic did a great job of having them in the game towards the end with guys in foul trouble, their main guys in foul trouble, and still making it a very close game at the end and having a shot that was even tied a game. So thank you for everything you've done this season for us, Isaac. You've been great. I always call you the best court announcer in the league, all the leagues that we are part of. So thank you for everything you do for us, and thanks to all our fans that came out to watch the game tonight. And thanks to the referees. I thought they were awesome tonight. I thought they handled the pressure very well. referees have to make adjustments just like players do. They struggled early with the calls. There were a lot of calls early, and then they saw how the game was going, and they made the adjustment. So just a credit to those guys as well.
Appreciate that, Randy. From Isaac Abbott and Randy Shanklin, that's all, folks, and what a game it was. Once again, congratulations, the Altona Gators, your champions of the Div 2 Men 2023 Big V season, on to season 2024.
Pushing. We've laid the foundations for what we push on. We spoke about earlier, this was the journey that we're with the airline, and have ups and downs, and the way we built the situation was just fantastic. I couldn't be prouder of you guys. It's amazing. I love every single one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Now let's bring your champion, Altona Gators, to win the championship in yelling. So let's start off with number 6, Tyson Burton. Number 10, Nick Patel. Number 11, the MVP, Adam Anderson. Number 12, Samson Rocker. Number 17, Peter Leckie. Number 22, John